Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about me: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, host of Authors on the Rise, speaker, co-host of the Tammy Collins Marquee Radio Show, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Dr. Foye. A little bit about her. Dr. Foye is passionate about saving lives, literally. Dr. Foye and her husband are co-owners of Lifesavers Emergency Room, realizing a need for emergency care that focuses on educating patients. The duo launched Lifesavers to the world. Dr. Foye earned her bachelor's in nutrition science from the University of Georgia in 2005 with honors. She subsequently studied medicine at University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and public health on a full academic scholarship. She was a residency trained in emergency medicine at Emory University School of Medicine and is board certified by the American Board of Emergency Medicine. Unlike most physicians, she is passionate about educating her patients to be co-partners in his well-being. After working full-time in several emergency rooms around Houston, she quickly realized that her true passion lay in playing an active role in the empowerment of her patients. This desire is what led to her to create Foye MD and Spa. Her dream was to create a space where patients could be treated for their medical concerns and walk out of her clinic feeling and looking amazing. Dr. Foye spent the majority of her clinical time educating her patients on disease prevention and management. She is also intentional about teaching medical students in her clinic. Dr. Foye is a hands-on physician and a daily participant in the care of all patients at Foye MD and Spa, from the diabetic or hypertensive patient to the weight loss patient. Dr. Foye reviews each treatment plan and ensures that her patient's experience will be unique and effective for them. Her joy for what she does helps her to see only the beauty in each patient and how to enhance their well-being. Deep down, Dr. Foye is a scientist at heart and strives to provide only evidence-based aesthetic and medical treatments that are backed by science and proven to work. From body contouring to acne to asthma to Botox, these services and more are offered at Foye MD and Spa. As a mother of two and approaching her mid-30s, Dr. Foye is well aware of the aging process and the toll that life has on women and men's health. From sexual libido to nutrition counseling or hair loss, hypertension, and weight management, Dr. Foye's skill and ability to manage these concerns is highly appreciated by her parents. Dr. Foye is the proud wife of Marcia, her best friend, and mother of Israel 3 years, and Mimi 10 months. She and her lovely family reside in the greater Houston area, and Dr. Foye is available of new consultations by booking online or calling the clinic. Welcome to the show, Dr. Foye.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I am honored to have you today. You have an amazing bio. So would you please tell listeners a little bit more about yourself, Dr. Foye?
Oh, wow, more than that? Well, so let's see. Well, like you said, I'm an ER physician, so really my training is in emergency medicine and providing acute emergent care for patients. So generally I do end up seeing patients who are sick and don't necessarily want to be in the ER. Nobody books an appointment for their ER visit, and it interrupts their day and their life. A lot of times people are managing diseases at home or, trying to just manage things, and then they finally realize their body tells them they can't do it alone, and they end up in my facility, And so it becomes striking a balance of, I do a lot of just sort of negotiating with patients who are like, well, I know you didn't really want to come see me today, but here we are. and let's see how we can get you back on your feet and back home. And that's really what I enjoy doing, is helping people really get back to their well-being.
I love that. So tell us about your entrepreneurial journey. You started out in corporate America, of course, you started out working in emergency rooms, and then you created your own. So tell us about your journey.
I worked in several ERs. With the field of emergency medicine, most doctors probably have one or two hospitals they work for, or if it's a big hospital corporation that has multiple locations, the ER physicians, we work at several of them to make sure all the shifts are covered because the ER is open 24 hours. So you end up seeing a lot, whether it's, one side of town to downtown to the suburbs. Heart attacks happen everywhere you go, falls, breaks, broken bones, lacerations. So you end up seeing the medicine doesn't really change, but you end up seeing that the quality of medicine, it changes depending on the hospital or the area sometimes, just because some hospitals have more access or some communities have more access. And that's what I was noticing a lot was that, in some facilities I worked in, patients were waiting 3-4 hours to see a doctor, and then other facilities, patients were able to get seen faster, able to get easier follow-up, able to get admitted and transferred easier. And that was something that would irk me because I would wonder, why do I have patients waiting 4 hours just to get these labs done, or why can't I get my patient transferred? And that was what kind of spurred us to create Lifesavers Emergency Room and a lot of the problem is that, there's just a backup. There are more patients than there are doctors, and there's not enough lab machines or lab techs to run the labs. And so some facilities end up not having a shortage of the ancillary, which are those things like labs, x-ray, CT. They have a shortage of those services to be able to provide for the volume of patients. Our facility is a little different in the fact that we don't share our equipment with anybody else. It's just the ER. The hospital shares their lab with everybody in the hospital has dibs on the lab, right? So if you're an ER doctor and you order a lab in the ER, the ICU doctor orders a lab, their lab is probably going to get run first because it's the ICU. Or a stroke patient comes in, they're going to get the CT first because you just have abdominal pain, So there's always like the hierarchy or a triage that goes on, and it's a smart triage because you want the sicker patient to get the care first, but it also leaves a lot of patients, thousands of patients, having a very inconvenient and painful hospital or ER experience.
Well, I just want to commend you and congratulate you. Congratulations on you for creating this space to get, patients seen quicker and get the better care in our emergency room. So just congratulations on creating that space to have that better customer experience. So that's so important.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. So tell us more about Lifesavers Emergency Room. You and your husband, created it and founded it. So tell us more about that. I know that was part of your journey with the patients not being seen quick. So what are some other things that inspired you and your husband to, take the jump and go ahead and do it?
I think just realizing that it's doable. Sometimes you see, and that's what I always encourage people is that, you have a dream and you see something that you think, or you see something you don't like about a system, and instead of complaining about it, try to see if that's something you could fix or recreate and do it better if you put your mind to it. And that was pretty much what we did. Was that I saw things that I felt like we could improve, and his response when I would come home and say, "Oh my gosh, do you know how long it took me to get to see all my patients today?" And he said, "Well, why don't we open our?" And I would say, "Well, I mean, we're not St. Luke's. We can't do that. We're not Methodist. We're not big enough to do enough. We're not big enough to do that." And then, as we became more empowered and doing a lot of research, we realized, we really could do this. If we put our minds to it and get our finances together and, just put the work in to, one, do the research, two, get the money together to be able to undertake such a huge project. So as far as the ER, you could tell you a little about it. It's our facility is a 5-bed emergency room. So there are 5 rooms. We have a staff that does x-rays. Everybody's dually trained to be able to do services. So sometimes in the traditional ER, the medical assistant only takes vitals. That's all they do. And the lab tech only runs labs. The x-ray tech only does x-rays. At our facility, we train everybody to be able to do multiple things. So the medical assistant can do vitals and draw blood and run the labs. Some of them know how to do x-ray. So we just try to make sure everybody is according to whatever the state regulations for their job description is. We make sure that they're as fully trained as possible so that they can be useful for patient care. And there's no downtime, as far as maybe not, so that patients aren't waiting. Even like, for example, Hurricane Harvey, I never asked where you are based. Did you experience Hurricane Harvey here in Houston or?
No, I didn't. I'm actually in Nashville, Tennessee, but yeah.
Nashville, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when Hurricane Harvey hit here, we were flooded in, and patients were still able to come in. But for example, I couldn't get home because the road to my house was flooded. So I was stuck here, but patients were still coming in. So we were providing care. I ended up learning how to do X-rays because patients were coming in, and our X-ray tech was flooded out. So we all had to do it, and so I initiated it where everybody needs to know how to function here. You can't just say this is the only thing I do and I only check in patients. So all I do is vitals. And when you have the mental capacity to learn how to do everything else, we're going to teach you. And I think that really is such a plus for patients because the person who checks you in can also draw your blood and run your labs for whatever the doctor orders. I think that's one amazing factor about our facility that's different from probably any freestanding that I know of emergency room.
I love it. And what is the amount of time that your patients normally wait? What's the longest they've waited thus far?
They don't wait. They really don't. As soon as they come in, they get checked in and go to the back and they get in a room. So I wouldn't even say, maybe 5 minutes, like filling your paperwork out, or your insurance is getting verified. But generally, it's pretty straightforward to getting in the facility. Yeah, and some people will even call ahead and we're just like, well, when you get here, we'll see you, but there's no wait, so we don't do appointments. Just come on in if you need.
I love it.
If you need to.
Yes. Right. So you went on to create another space where patients could be treated for their medical concerns and walk out of your clinic feeling and looking amazing, which you created Foye's MD and Spa. So tell listeners more about that.
Oh, yeah. So Foye MD and Spa is a medical clinic. So we do family practice as well as aesthetics, so medical spa services. So I really love just medical spa things. I like helping people look and feel beautiful. I like helping people lose weight. And I do it in the ER, but it's really not an ideal setting because you're in the emergency room for your blood pressure, which, a lot of people get because as a result of obesity, so it's like this cascade of, the obesity led to the blood pressure and then eventually diabetes kind of caught up with them. And so the clinic helps to preventative care so that we can address the things that lead people to end up in the ER to start with, right? So we help people with weight loss in the clinic. We help people look better. We help people with medical grade facials for their skin. Some people just need a vitamin infusion, so they come in for a vitamin drip, and that can boost energy, get vitamins directly to their bloodstream. Those are really popular. So it's really more like a happy space. The ER is not always a happy environment, just because whatever issue people have been dealing with is finally caught up to them, and that's why they're there. Like I said, they didn't book an appointment to come in. They didn't want to be in the ER. The clinic, people want to be there. They book an appointment. They're looking forward to it, to their visits, or getting their health together, getting their skin together, getting their wrinkles relaxed. So it's it's sort of symbiotic where we work together, but it's very different type of patient sort of ambiance when you walk into either clinic.
I love that, creating that happy space. That's always important. So how can listeners who are living in the Houston area, how can they get in contact with you and come and visit your spa or your emergency room if they need to do that as well?
Right. So the great thing about our emergency room, we have 2 locations now. We just opened a new location in the Greater Heights community, which is off of Shepherd Drive. And we have another location in Willowbrook, which is off of 249. You can Google us at Lifesavers Emergency Room or call. The number is 832-779-5433. Like I said, we have 2 locations. We also have a little bit of concierge in that if a patient is at home and they're not able to get to the ER, they can call our facility and we'll have our ambulance come and pick them up and make sure they get home safely as well. So that's always kind of a perk. So some people can't get in because they have to wait for somebody to, or, if you've had a fall and you don't necessarily want to call 911 because of 911 bill, our ambulance service is far more affordable than calling 911. So that's the ER. The Foye MD and Spa is located in the Heights as well. It's actually right next to the emergency room. You can follow us on IG. It's Foye MD Med Spa on Instagram and Foye MD and Spa on Facebook. We do giveaways all the time just because it's really fun to get people engaged and to, sometimes you just, a lot of us, we work so hard. We don't even, I was asking a friend of mine, have you ever had a facial? And she was like, no. Sometimes it's good to just treat yourself and get a facial or get a massage or get something done to help you look and feel better about yourself. And we don't do enough of that. We give and give so much of ourselves. And this clinic is an opportunity for you to kind of stop and take care of yourself in a medically, supported setting. That's going to be safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you live in Houston, please reach out to Dr. Foye, and self-care is definitely important. So Dr. Foye, what are some strategies you would give to listeners who want to own their own hospital or emergency room? What are some strategies you would give to them if they want to step out and take that jump as well?
Oh, I would definitely say do your research. If you're a physician or it's definitely easier being a physician and doing it because you kind of understand just from a medical director perspective on how to manage the facility or what, on an administrative level, what needs to happen. I would say definitely do your research. If you can work in one or, get somebody who's been working in one, so you have sort of boots on the ground knowledge of, how to operate one. Getting a mentor is important, regardless of what you do or any endeavor. I've had mentors all my whole life. In high school, I had a mentor. College, I had one. Medical school, residency. You really always have to have somebody who you can look up to, that's already walked the path that you're going, instead of trying to, revamp the wheel or trying to, start over all by yourself and make the same mistakes somebody else already went through. Most people who are successful have somebody that put them through. So it's just about trying to find who will maybe take you under their wing a little bit and give you some of their advice. And whether they were successful enough or not, that's not really the gauge of whether they can be your mentor. It's really that they know the mistakes they've made and they can help you not make the mistakes they've made.
Yeah. So some takeaways I got from that was do your research. It's easier when you are a physician and you're trying to do it, and then get a mentor. So those are the 3 takeaways if you are looking to take that job and own your own hospital or emergency room. So Dr. Foye, I know you're very big on empowerment of your patients. So please share with our listeners about how you empower your patients on a daily basis.
Oh, that's easy. I think we all need encouragement, and we all need somebody to say, you're doing a good job. Hang in there, dude, you're doing great. And sometimes it sounds so trivial, but it feels nice to just hear somebody affirm you. Even moms, when they come in and they're just like, my child has been screaming all night, and they just need somebody to say, you're doing the right thing, you're doing a good job. Or if they aren't doing the right thing, being able to kind of, navigate with them and decipher what where the default may be or what's going on that's causing them to not be happy, or et cetera. So I think just encouraging people in their walk and motivating them, that part's easy for me because I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a businesswoman, and it sure feels nice when somebody pats you on the back and just, gives you a good job, So we do that a lot, just empowering people and encouraging them, because life is hard, and especially when you have medical on top of it, or you're taking care of people, you're a caregiver, you just need that encouragement. A lot of knowledge that people in the medical field, we take it for granted because we've learned it so much and we see so much of it. Like when I see somebody with abdominal pain, I just need to talk to them probably a few minutes before I have like a good, my little differential of what I think is wrong with the questions I ask. So we see it so much that we take for granted that amount of knowledge that we have. But you could just solve somebody's problem with a 5-minute conversation and really just help them. I had, for example, I had a patient who had been having abdominal pain for like 3-4 months, and they didn't know what was going on. They kept kind of, putting it off, but they came into the ER. We talked, we did some tests, and we were able to figure out that the patient had H. pylori and most likely gastric ulcers, and acid reflux, and it wasn't that they couldn't have potentially figured it out eventually, but just having somebody to walk through your symptoms with you and do the right testing is extremely empowering for patients, because now you have the answer and now you know what to do. Like, what foods you can't eat, what medicine to take, and that can change your whole outlook on life when you're not always worried or in fear of what's going on in my tummy and what is this cancer, or just the thoughts that go through your mind when you don't know.
Well, that is pretty awesome, because encouraging and motivating people can go a long way. So that's pretty awesome that you do that with all of your patients and everybody that you meet. So I commend you for that. So with your awesome bio and just the awesome things that you're doing, Dr. Foye, what did failure teach you?
Well, so what failure has taught me is that you learn from your mistakes. I think failure teaches you to get back up. We all, none of us are perfect. We can't get it right all the time. And sometimes we do fail, and then it's just life trying to teach us how we can be stronger and better the next time. Failure has also taught me to go back to the drawing board and start over and think, okay, what did I do wrong that time, or where did I make a mistake, and how can we prevent this from happening again? I think it's important to learn from failure and not necessarily give up on your dream because of a bad experience. And that's definitely a learning lesson, a lesson I've learned in the last, several years, that just get back up.
Yes, and that's so true, because it's not failure, it's actually a lesson. And it's for us to get back up and do it better the next time, right? So that's the only way we're going to get to the next level is to fail. So,
exactly.
What did success teach you? Failure taught you, that it's a lesson and to dust it off and, do it better the next time. But what did success teach you?
I think there's a phrase that with you get more. There's more responsibility when you're successful. Then you are now responsible for other people's livelihood, especially as an employer. I have, my staff who support their families through their job that they work. They work for me or work with me, and we all have to make it, or they don't have a job. And they're, people's college education or tuition is depending on the work that they do at our facility. And so it does put I feel like it puts more of a responsibility on my shoulders, where I feel like, well, we really have to do a good job. We got to make it. We got to do well here. We got to make our mark on the community, because if we don't, then so many people are counting on us to do well. And even just the community that I grew up in, they are all so proud of what we've accomplished, my husband and I, and we want to make everybody proud. We want people to see us and see that, oh, I could do this too. So I think success has brought more responsibility for me, and more of a sense of that it's not just for me, it's for my community, it's for all the people that helped me get to where I am, and I want them to be proud of what we have accomplished together.
Awesome. More responsibility and, making your community proud and reaching back and pulling forward. That's always good. So tell us what we can expect from you, Dr. Foye, in the future, because you're doing a lot of amazing things. So what can we expect from you in 2019?
Well, Foye MD is pretty new with the clinic and the medical spa, so we're definitely still, doing a lot of marketing and PR and just trying to get our name out there and, make our mark on the community. And the emergency room, the second location, is only about 3 months new, so we've got our hands full just getting these two businesses off the ground. So between my husband and I, we're managing 3 businesses right now. So I think for now, just lay low and run my race, basically. I think sometimes you start looking at what other people are doing and, and you get distracted trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I'm a very sort of laid back and reserved person. So I don't think you'll see much from me unless it has something to do with Foye MD and getting people some, just the medical care that they need.
Yes. Well, congratulations on all of your great success. I can't wait to see what God is going to birth through you in 2019. So congratulations in advance. And how can listeners follow and contact you?
Okay, well, I'm on Instagram. I have my personal account, which is at Dr. Foye Ikyaator. That's my last name. But and then we have our Lifesavers Emergency Room is on IG as well, and we have Foye MD. Foye MD Wellness is on Instagram as well. So if you type in Foye, you'll find me, and then you'll find all the other things we do or I do through that. But if you start typing in Foye on Instagram, you'll see me or you'll find me on there. So, Keynote will be featured on Fox News on Wednesday evening. So if anybody's in Houston and wants to catch that should be an interesting story.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. What time will you be on Fox News?
I wish I knew. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I know. So shocked and I was like, wow, you guys are there coming to do the interview, but I have no idea. But I'll definitely, I'll let you know. I'll message you. But, yeah.
Awesome. Well, you all please catch her on Fox News on Wednesday evening. She will be sharing her story. As I said, Dr. Foye is amazing. I would like to thank you, Dr. Foye, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to let me interview you today. And I wish you many, many blessings and much success in the rest of 2019.
Thank you. And I wish you the same with your show and everything that you're doing in the community. I think it's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you again. I will look forward to bringing you back before the end of the year to see all the great things that you're about to do.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Yes, I appreciate you too. Thank you. So I would like to give a special thanks to two of my mentors, Tammy Collins-Markey and John Schamberger. And I would also like to give a special thanks to Dr. Larry White Sr. and author Kimberly McLemore. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.